Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday. It is the 8th day of May, 2023. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you had a good, healthy, and safe weekend, and that you and your family needs in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, who, along with first responders, people who risk their lives every day for the purpose of saving lives. Blessings also upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep streets, sidewalks, parks, highways, places clean and disease free. Blessings upon those also that make deliveries of important things that we take for granted, like food and water and mail for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the children and the teenagers that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia and child abuse. And the victims also of prostitution and child prostitution. The victims also of pornography and child pornography. The victims also of human trafficking and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators of all these things. Double curses on those who profit from these things. And double curses on all those perverts that create the demand upon which other perverts create the supply. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, mostly children, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So, there's a basketball game scheduled tonight. The New York Knicks are in Miami for the second game of two games in Miami. The Knicks are, as we know, are behind in the series, 2-1. So this is a very pivotal game because of the fact that, you don't want to go down 3-1, and nobody in the playoffs wants to go down 3-1. So that being the case, the Knicks are in a must-win situation today. Must win this game. Now, important things. I talked yesterday in the live stream about Tom Thibodeau making some adjustments. And I believe he's going to do that. A couple of things are going to force his hand into making adjustments. Number one, as I mentioned, Josh Hart has played well, but Josh Hart has a hard time guarding Jimmy Butler. Just as simple as that. Jimmy Butler has been the catalyst to help Miami be up 2-1 in this series. In fact, the game they lost, of course, is the game Jimmy Butler did not play. So you need to make a switch there. And Quentin Grimes has been the starting two guard for most of the season. He hurt his shoulder, and then Tom inserted Hart in there, and Hart did a tremendous job. But when it comes now is the time for, and Thibs usually doesn't do this. He usually doesn't cause a player who's out temporarily, and that's Grimes with a short shoulder, to lose their spot. He doesn't do that. He comes back. And he probably made a mistake in staying too long with Josh Hart in that spot. But he also, to his credit, he likes to ride what he feels is hot. Well, it's not hot anymore. So I feel like he should be putting Quentin Grimes back in the starting lineup, and I'm expecting him to do that today. That's number one. And as I mentioned yesterday, that's going to create 4 positives for the Knicks. Number one, Miami's packing the paint against Jalen Brunson, as they should, because Jalen Brunson will kill you if you don't. So they pack the paint against him. And when Hart is on the floor, he gets a lot of open looks. And he's not a great shooter. He's not a great three-point shooter. He can hit some, but he mostly, during this series, he's been really reluctant to shoot the basketball. That would change with Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes is not only a high-level shooter, as I call him, Allen Houston 2.0, but he's a confident shooter. He will rise up and take that shot when it's there. Okay, and if you get him in a rhythm, he'll hit 5, 6 threes for you in the game. So that's one. Second thing is, because of that, if Quentin Grimes is shooting the ball well, then Miami cannot pack the paint the way they want to without leaving Grimes wide open. And that's going to create, his own set of problems. Number two, you bring Josh Hart back to Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep has not been producing in the Miami series the way they normally produce. Generally, I haven't looked it up, but they probably average 32 points a game. Sometimes, obviously, they score more from the Mobb Deep bench. That's been missing in these playoffs. Putting Josh Hart in, and the thing about Josh Hart is that he is going to give you the same production whether he's starting or on the bench. He's going to get you 8 points, 12 points. He's going to get you around 8, 12 rebounds. He's going to hustle. He's going to play defense. He's going to do that whether he starts or whether he's on the bench. So bringing that production to the bench adds to the bench production. See? So just by putting him there, you're going to get, again, 8, 10, 12 points, 8, 10, 12 rebounds, good defense. That comes now off your bench. So you have fortified your starting five, and you've now fortified your bench as well. Also, not only does it open the floor for Jalen Brunson, but it opens lanes for RJ Barrett. Barrett is one of the few players, and he has really won me on the DL. He has won me this series because I always believed in RJ Barrett. I just didn't think it. I think it would take him a couple more seasons to get where I see he can be. Like I said, Jimmy Butler 2.0. But he's not there yet, but he has always been a big game player, and he has come to play in the playoffs period. He has come to play. Okay, when he wasn't scoring, he was doing other things, and most people was on him because he wasn't scoring. But what he was really doing, the lanes were clogged up. Okay, Brunson wasn't giving up the ball real quick, and then him and Julius wasn't making quick decisions with the basketball. Now he is. Okay, and so he's come to play in this series, and so it's going to open up lanes where he can charge at that basket and attack it, and that's when RJ's at his best. That's going to help with that as well. So those areas will help simply by starting Quentin Grimes. Then, again, you're bringing, now you don't have Emmanuel Quickley today. Well, that's okay, because that's why we call them Mobb Deep, because we have depth in the form of Deuce McBride. We've been missing perimeter defense, okay? Brunson is not a great defender. We already knew that, but he's really not being able to stay in front of anybody in this series. We need him to be better. I'm thinking it's because of his ankles. I mean, he's not that bad that he can't at least stay in front of somebody. He could do that. But especially we're talking about Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. He's got to be able to stay in front of him. Or you could put him on Duncan Robinson, but Duncan Robinson doesn't start. Okay, he's not the starter. The starter is Caleb Martin, you have Gabe Vincent, you have Max Strus, you have Jimmy Butler, and then, well, actually, not even Caleb Martin. You have Max Strus, you have Jimmy Butler, you have Gabe Vincent, Kevin Love, and Bam Adebayo. And so he's got to be able to stay in front of either Vincent or Strus. He's got to be able to just guard one of them. Okay, so that's important. And now when you have a Deuce coming in there, that problem is solved. And if Deuce can get, this is the thing, and I've always said this, you give Deuce at least 15 minutes, you could probably win the ball game. If you give him 20, 22 minutes, like the Quickley minutes today, I'm gonna say this. If Deuce McBride gets at least 20 minutes today, the Knicks will win the basketball game. I'm going to just say that straight out. Let me say that again. If Deuce McBride gets at least 20 minutes today, the Knicks will win the basketball game. Okay? I don't know if he's going to. But if he does, the Knicks will win the basketball game. That's what I'm going to tell you. Okay? Because of his perimeter defense. Now, this ain't high school. Like I said, this ain't college. This is the league. All of these guys are good. But because Deuce hasn't been getting any time, he's obviously going to be a little rusty on the offensive end. I'm hoping, and I'm pretty confident in this too, that during these last couple of games, especially since the ankle injury to Quick on Saturday, and now you're talking about Sunday and then tonight, I'm sure Deuce has shot up several hundred three-point shots. I'm sure he has, okay? And he's shooting several hundred foul shots. I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's going to do his best to be ready. And this is the thing. Like some of y'all, somebody's going to look at the stat sheet and say, McBride can't shoot. Okay, let this brother come in with some rhythm I know he could shoot. And so let him come in with some rhythm. That'll be a game changer. Okay. So that's why I'm very excited that Deuce is gonna get some time tonight. How much time? Depends on Tom Thibodeau. Okay. Like I said, he gets 15 minutes. We got a strong chance to win the basketball game. But if Thibs gives him today IQ minutes, that is 22 minutes or more, we'll win this basketball game. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, we'll win because you're going to have lockdown defense between Deuce, Hart, and Grimes on the perimeter. You're going to have lockdown defense, and if that happens, we're going to win this basketball game. Okay, so that's an important point right there. And then, of course, we're still going to have now Isaiah Hartenstein, who's been hustling, not scoring, but diving on loose balls, getting tough rebounds, blocking shots in crunch time. Continue to do what he do. And then you're going to have now Obi Toppin, who hasn't been a big factor, but I also feel that's because of minutes. So I'm thinking, this is the thing. It's unlike some of y'all, I really believe in Tom Thibodeau as a head coach. I think he's a really good head coach, not just an average, as some of you knuckleheads say. You can't be average if you have above average winning percentage. Okay, so he's a really good head coach. And to me, he's going to look at this and he's going to make adjustments. And to me, the two adjustments, number one, is giving me Deuce McBride, and number two, giving me a starter in Quentin Grimes. Those two things will make all the difference in the world for the Knicks today. Okay? And let me tell you this. And I don't know now, if the Knicks do those things that I just mentioned and beat Miami with Jimmy Butler, two things are going to happen. Number one, the Knicks will win this series in 6 games. And the reason is because of number two, Tom will stick with this lineup. Okay? If they win. If they don't, we'll have something else to talk about tomorrow. Okay? But tonight, 7:30, tip-off, Miami against New York in Miami. Knicks are looking to come away with what they needed to come away with, a split. That's all we were looking for, a split. If they can come away with a split, we're in good shape. Because if the Knicks come away with a split, it's 2-2 with 3 games to go, and 2 of those games at Madison Square Garden. Okay, so, one more thing. I need Julius Randle to show up today. And I don't mean bad Julius, arguing with the ref Julius, whining Julius at the ref. I need Julius to be the man among boys that I know he could be today. I need 20 points from him at least, and I need 10, 15 boards from him. I need a dominant Julius today. I need him to be so dominant that they doubling him and Brunson's killing him because of it. I need him to be so dominant that he gets 8 assists because they're doubling and triple teaming him. I need that from Julius today. I need him engaged on the defensive end of the floor. I want to see him dive on the floor like Hartenstein and get us a loose ball. I want that Julius today. If we have that, the Knicks also have a real good chance to win this basketball game. See, that's what's been missing. Let me tell y'all something, man. I told y'all in the beginning, I'm going to say it again. The Knicks are the better basketball team. The problem is they haven't shown up yet. Miami is the more rough-edged, grizzled, playoff proven team. Okay, all of those guys. Bam has been in the conference finals. Struz, these guys have been there. Lowry's run a chip. Kev is won a chip. They've been grizzled veterans. These guys know how to win, and that counts for a lot in the NBA. So that's why they've been winning the game. They're coming out punching us in the face, and the Knicks are not punching hard back. We need, and that starts with Randle. See, Brunson is the leader of the team. But he's already shown he's tough. Brunson tough as nails. Well, we also paying $100 million to Julius Randle. I need Julius Randle to come out tough. Even if he fouls out in the first half, I don't care. I need him to come correct today. If he does that, the Knicks are in a good position to win this basketball game. Y'all enjoy the game. Y'all enjoy your Monday. Shalom.